Okay, so we're going to go ahead and check how you did with spelling some of those words out. So we had already done peanut, campground, and mermaid. So let's see what you came up with for teacup. So teacup is 2 syllables. T is the same vowel team that we had in peanut. So the EA here, T, is making the long E sound. So T and then cup. So teacup, vowel team syllable, a closed syllable, and then we can write it out as one compound word. And so it would look like that. That's what you should have for spelling of teacup. Okay, after teacup, we had the word floated. So floated, float, id. And the id part might be a little bit tricky as well because that is a morpheme that we use when we're adding past tense to a verb. So float, we get f, l. The O sound here, it's a long O sound. And so our vowel team here is an OA that's making that sound. So here's float. And then we're changing the word float to past tense. So we have to add on the ED, and it sounds a little bit more like an id. We floated. So when I write it together, it goes here. So we floated in the pool. Okay, after floated, you had pinwheel. So for pinwheel, we have 1 syllable, and here's our second syllable. Pin is a closed syllable, short vowel sound. Wheel right here is going to be a WH. So you may have missed that H. Now you know this is a long E sound for our vowel team. We're going to use a double E in the word pinwheel, and then we're going to write the word out together. Pinwheel. After pinwheel, we had the word underneath. So underneath. This is one word you may have noticed that has 3 syllables. So un is a closed syllable, short vowel followed by a consonant. Der, d, So sometimes when students will hear they know there's an R in the syllable like der, but you have to make sure you have your vowel in there also. So in this case, it's an ER. And then neath, again, we have this long E sound, and now we're going to use an EA. So like peanut and teacup, and now neath are long E's being spelled with the EA vowel team. So I'm going to write this out, underneath. We went underneath the water in the pool. Okay, after underneath, you had drowsy, and I could see where this one might be a little bit tricky as well. So drowsy, that's your D, R. Now there will be some students that instead of the D, you might be putting a J there based on where the sounds are made in your mouth. It's a common mistake, but it's a ow. So we get to this ow, and it's either going to be an OU spelling or an OW. So in the word drowsy, it's an OW, drow. And then on the second part, we have Z, which is actually an open syllable, but we spell it with an S. Why? Because that S is voiced. So we're going to write out the word now, drowsy. And that's how we would spell drowsy. So that was another tricky word to spell. Okay, after drowsy, we had clubhouse, clubhouse. These words might be a little more familiar to you. So club, k, l, b. That's a closed syllable word. House, here's our ow. Okay, we've had a few words that have gone ow. In house, it's the OU spelling of ow. Clubhouse. And then we have an E on the word house, which is marking here that it's not a plural. It's just a singular word that happens to end with the S sound, club house. And the last word that you had was scrapbook. So 2 syllables, scrap. So that's a blend right there in the beginning. App. That's a closed syllable. Book, b. Here's your vowel team. K. I'm going to write it all together. And that's how we would spell scrapbook. So all of these words are words that come from a story that you'll be reading in a little bit. So that was some practice with spelling, and then you're going to practice being able to read them, some of these words, before you get to actually reading your text. All right, good job, guys.